Have you ever been in a conversation where saying yes felt wrong, but saying no felt risky? Imagine if every moment like that could be an opportunity to win without fighting. Chris Voss was once the FBI's lead international hostage negotiator. He's talked terrorists out of killing hostages, gunmen out of standoffs, and criminals into giving up. But what's shocking is that the same tools he used to deal with life or death situations can help you ask for a raise, close a business deal, or get your kid to eat vegetables. Never Split the Difference is his guide to negotiating like your life depends on it, because sometimes it actually does. At the heart of this book is one powerful idea. Negotiation is not about getting to yes. It's about mastering tactical empathy and uncovering what the other side truly needs, even when they don't say it out loud. Let's begin with the first key idea. Start with no. Contrary to what most people think, no isn't the end of a conversation. It's the beginning of a real one. Most of us are trained to seek agreement, to chase yes. But Voss learned that people feel safe and in control when they say no. It lowers their guard. For example, during a kidnapping case in Haiti, the family of the hostage was panicked and overwhelmed. The FBI team encouraged them to ask the kidnappers simple, no-oriented questions, like, is it ridiculous to think we can find a way to work together on this? That small no opened the door to dialogue. It gave the other side the feeling of control. So in everyday life, instead of asking, can we schedule a meeting? Try, would it be a bad idea to meet tomorrow at 10 a.m.? That tiny shift creates space, and that space is where negotiation begins. Next up, mirror and label emotions. Humans are emotional creatures, even when we pretend not to be. Voss teaches that emotional intelligence is not fluff, it's a weapon. Two tools stand out here: mirroring and labeling. Mirroring is simply repeating the last few words your counterpart just said with an upward tone, almost like a question. It sounds silly, but it's magic. If someone says, "We just don't have the budget," and you repeat back, "Don't have the budget?" You're prompting them to expand, to explain, to reveal more. It's like saying, "Tell me more," without sounding confrontational. Labeling goes one step further. It's about identifying the emotion beneath the words. You say, "It sounds like you're frustrated," or "It seems like you're under pressure." When you name their emotion, people feel seen. And when people feel seen, they're more willing to collaborate. There's a moment in the book where Voss is dealing with a bank robber holding hostages. Instead of demanding surrender, he simply starts labeling. "It sounds like you're afraid." The robber starts to open up. He goes from a threat to a human being. That's the power of naming what's under the surface. Third lesson, beware the yes. Chase the that's right. We've all heard someone say yes just to shut us up. That's a counterfeit yes. There's also the confirmation yes, polite but meaningless. The real goal in negotiation, Voss argues, is the that's right moment. That's when your counterpart feels fully understood. It's when your summary of their position hits home. Imagine you're negotiating a salary. You say, "It sounds like the company is trying to keep payroll tight this quarter, but you also want to make sure people feel valued." If they respond with, "That's right," now you're aligned. They feel heard and they're more open to solutions. The moment you get a "that's right," you're no longer opponents, you're problem solvers. Voss's student used this in a divorce settlement. Instead of arguing for what she wanted, she reflected her ex-husband's concerns back to him, using his own words. When he finally said, "That's right," everything shifted. Negotiation moved forward. Emotion cooled. Resolution became possible. Now, here's a surprisingly fun idea. Use the accusation audit. Before the other side attacks you, attack yourself, strategically. That's the accusation audit. Let's say you're about to ask for a better deal. Instead of pretending everything's fine, you begin with something like, You're probably thinking, I'm just trying to squeeze more money out of you. You might even think I'm being unfair. By acknowledging their fears before they voice them, you rob those fears of their power. It's disarming. People don't expect someone to call out the worst about themselves, and when you do, they listen differently. Their defenses drop. Voss once used this tactic with a business partner who was growing distant. Instead of pushing in, he said, "You probably think I've been self-centered and maybe even careless with our shared goals." The partner leaned in. They had a real conversation. The partnership was saved. And here's a mind bender. Calibrated questions change everything. These are open-ended how and what questions that gently guide the other side toward your solution without ever making them feel forced. It's not, why won't you agree? But how can we work together to solve this? Not, will you lower the price? But what's the flexibility you have in your pricing? Voss recounts a tense moment in a kidnapping when the family was running out of time and money. Instead of begging or threatening, they asked, "How are we supposed to pay that much?" The kidnapper didn't get angry. He paused, and eventually he lowered the demand. These questions make the other person do the work, but in doing so, they stay engaged, stay thinking, and start collaborating, often without even realizing it. Let's tie this all together. Never split the difference isn't about being pushy or aggressive. It's about listening so deeply that people feel safe to reveal what they actually want. It's about shaping conversations with emotional intelligence, curiosity, and clarity. You don't win by overpowering the other side. You win by helping them feel understood and guiding them to see how your solution fits their needs. Whether you're negotiating a business contract, a car price, or even a bedtime with your toddler, these tools work. Not because they're tricks, but because they're rooted in how humans think, feel, and decide. So here's what to take away. Start with no. It's safer than yes. Mirror and label emotions. People open up when they feel seen. Forget the fake yes. Aim for that's right. Own your flaws before others do. That's your accusation audit. And finally, ask calibrated questions. Let the other side find your solution for you. The next time you feel like you're stuck in a conversation, remember, it's not about winning or losing. It's about connection. It's about seeing beneath the surface. And that's a skill worth mastering, not just for negotiation, but for life. If you found even one idea here that shifted your thinking, imagine what the full book can do. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss is more than a guide to negotiation. It's a manual for understanding people, including yourself. So grab a copy, try the tools, and let us know, what conversation will you handle differently starting today? And if this helped you, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a comment, or check out our other summaries. Your next big breakthrough might just be one negotiation away.